Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Country Music Time Machine, and welcome to a special series where we are highlighting the life of some of the biggest stars in country music history. If you love country music and the history of our great music, please subscribe to this channel and tell all your friends. This is Country Legends on the Country Music Time Machine. Jimmie Rodgers is a name synonymous with the very foundations of country music, and he was a figure whose legacy transcends his tragically brief life. Born James Charles Rodgers on September 8, 1897, in Pine Springs, Mississippi, his story is not merely that of a musician, but of a man who lived and breathed the experiences he sang about, becoming an unintentional chronicler of the American working class. Rodgers' early life was closely linked to the railroad, a powerful force that shaped both his character and his musical sensibilities. His father was a foreman on the Mobile and Ohio Railroad. From a young age, Jimmie found himself immersed in the vibrant and itinerant world of rail workers. As a water boy and later in a variety of railroad jobs, he traveled extensively, absorbing the diverse sounds that punctuated life along the tracks. The railroad was a melting pot of musical traditions. The rhythmic clang of steel on steel and the mournful wail of a train whistle served as a constant backdrop to the aural tapestry of the era. Rodgers listened intently to the field hollers and early blues of African Americans, the traditional folk ballads of his white co-workers, and the popular tunes from vaudeville and minstrel shows that he encountered in bustling rail towns. This unique exposure created a musical lexicon that was far broader than that of his contemporaries. He just wasn't a singer, he was a human sponge, soaking up every melody, every story, and every rhythm along the way. This period was marked by a restless spirit. Rodgers was a natural showman, a dreamer with a deep-seated desire to entertain. At the age of 13, he ran away from home to join the traveling medicine show. His father, a man of practical mind, brought him back, but the seed of performance had been planted. Over the next decade, Rodgers worked a string of railroad jobs: brakeman, baggage master, flagman, but his true passion was always music. He would often bring his guitar to work, entertaining his fellow crew members and honing his craft in the dusty boxcars and lonely rail yards that served as his stage. In 1924, Rodgers' railroad career came to an abrupt halt. He was diagnosed with tuberculosis, a devastating and often fatal disease with no cure at the time. The physical demands of railroad work were no longer an option. While the diagnosis was a personal tragedy, it also served as a pivotal turning point. With his livelihood gone, Rodgers had no choice but to fully embrace music as his profession. The years that followed were a struggle. Rodgers and his wife, Carrie, traveled across the South, with Rodgers playing wherever he could, in small clubs, on street corners, and with a variety of ad hoc bands. Success was elusive, and he often supplemented his meager musical income with odd jobs. He was a man fighting for his life, both against his illness and against the crushing realities of poverty. Rodgers' life changed forever in the summer of 1927. He had been playing with a band called the Teneva Ramblers, and after hearing that a talent scout from the Victor Talking Machine Company, Ralph Peer, was holding auditions in Bristol, Tennessee, he decided to seize the opportunity. The sessions, now legendary in music history, were intended to capture the hillbilly music of the Southern Appalachians. The first recording session was a modest success. Rodgers, having had a fallout with his band over billing, auditioned solo. He recorded two sentimental ballads, The Soldier's Sweetheart and Sleep, Baby, Sleep. They sold well enough, but it was the next session in November 1927 that cemented his place in history. Rodgers recorded a song he had been working on, a unique blend of traditional blues structure and a vocal innovation that would become his trademark. The song was titled Blue Yodel, though it would later become more famously known as T for Texas. The track was a revelation. Rodgers' signature yodeling, which had been perfected over the years of listening to Swiss yodelers and African-American field hollers, was seamlessly integrated with a blues-based melody and lyrics that spoke to the experiences of the downtrodden. Blue Yodel was an instant hit, selling nearly 500,000 copies and launching Rodgers into national stardom. From 1927 to 1933, Rodgers was a recording machine. He cranked out over 100 songs, each one a testament to his versatility and unique sound. He earned the moniker the Blue Yodeler, and his songs created a new musical genre that blended country, blues, folk, and jazz. His lyrics were often autobiographical, filled with tales of drifters, railroad life, and the bittersweet pains of love and loss. Songs like Waiting for a Train, In the Jailhouse Now, and TB Blues, a poignant and honest reflection on his own battle with tuberculosis, became classics, their themes resonating with an America grappling with the onset of the Great Depression. Rodgers' influence extended beyond his own genre. His groundbreaking collaborations with artists like Louis Armstrong on Blue Yodel No. 9 and the Carter Family showcased his ability to transcend musical boundaries. He became a fixture on the vaudeville circuit, a movie star in a short film, and the best-selling recording artist. His newfound fame allowed him to enjoy a life of comfort and celebrity. At the height of his career in 1929, Rodgers made approximately $75,000. That's equivalent to about $1.3 million today, but his health was in constant decline. By the spring of 1933, Rodgers was gravely ill. His tuberculosis was in its final stages, but he was determined to record one last time. He traveled to New York City for a final recording session with Victor. He was so weak that a cot had to be placed in the studio for him to rest on between takes. Despite his failing health, he managed to record 12 songs, including the hauntingly beautiful Years Ago and Jimmie Rodgers' Last Blue Yodel. Just 2 days after completing the sessions, on May 26, 1933, Jimmie Rodgers died from a lung hemorrhage in his hotel room. He was only 35 years old. His death was a profound loss to the music world, but his legacy was already secure. In the decades that followed, Rodgers' influence grew exponentially. He was the first person inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1961 and was later inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as an early influence, a testament to his cross-genre appeal. His music inspired an entire generation of artists, from Hank Williams to Johnny Cash to Bob Dylan, who all revered him as a pivotal figure. Jimmie Rodgers was more than just a country singer. He was an innovator, a storyteller, and a symbol of the American spirit. A singing brakeman who rode the rails of life and left behind a musical legacy that continues to resonate with raw, heartfelt honesty. This is Country Legends on the Country Music Time Machine.